Episode 2 of Invincible introduces us to a lot more characters and a lot more action as well, so let's talk about it. Hello everyone, welcome to Invincible Central. My name's MJ and let's just kick it off with this review of Episode 2. This is spoiler free, so do not worry, we're not going to be talking about any specific story beats here. So in this episode we are introduced to a hell of a lot more characters and we get to hear a lot more of the voice cast in action. This is absolutely brilliant. I am so impressed with the voice cast. From a few of the nuggets that we've seen in the trailer so far, there's been a few voices where we just haven't really seen how much they're bringing to the table. Like characters like Atom Eve are barely featured in the trailers, and what little dialogue they did have, it just sounded like whatever. But in this, absolutely incredible. Gillian Jacobs as Atom Eve is absolutely just perfect. You also got people like Zachary Quinto as Robot and Jason Mantzoukas as Rexplode, who are brilliant. They bring such a great level of characterization to this. Like they read exactly, or rather they sound exactly how they read in the comics. Like the casting on this show is just so good and the quality of the actors is unbelievable. Like we've already had like multiple actors with Oscar award winning and Oscar award nominees as well. It's unbelievable. I genuinely thought episode 1 was so good that I wasn't sure how episode 2 was going to top it, but actually I think episode 2 might be my favourite episode out of the 3 they've shown so far. Episode 2 is very epic in scope. It almost feels a bit like almost sort of like an Avengers film. Like if episode 1 was like a bit of a setup film, a bit like Captain America the First Avenger, then this feels maybe like the Avengers. We see a lot of characters in a huge battle, and the way that they handle some of these storylines, so they're bringing storylines that happen a little bit later on in the comics, bringing them a little bit earlier in the run. So this is only episode 2 and we already have quite a substantial subplot here. And the way that it uniquely plays out over the episode is absolutely brilliant. The way it unfolds and the way that us as the viewer learn information about this is brilliant. And again, I commended episode 1 for the way that they used the different superheroes' powers. Again, in this, it's absolutely brilliant. Each of the members of the teen team, which is one of the superhero teams featured, they bring something different to the table. And all of them feel really good in this, like they're bringing their own unique skills and they are developed in a really great way. Again, the episode uses violence in a really brilliant way. There's a lot of civilians in danger and there's a lot of civilian death in this episode. And there's also violence towards heroes as well. And all of that is done really well. It does this brilliant thing where there's a huge variety of different violence. And it does feel raw, it does feel dangerous, and honestly it looks like it would absolutely suck living in these guys' worlds. There's also some really interesting developments regarding the personal life of these heroes, obviously Mark in particular, and the way that it's handled in a different way to the comics is brilliant. The way that they're sort of adapted different storylines really suits the medium of television like really well. So those changes that they've made, they're just really intelligent and they sort of streamline it. And you know, Invincible is quite an old comic book. It started 18 years ago, so there has been like 18 years of consideration and all this sort of thing. And the changes that they've made, including like gender bending or race bending different characters, it just feels really good. It feels really natural. And again, I'm just really impressed. Like I say, the episode felt really epic in scope. It was very funny, it was dramatic, it was violent. You really couldn't ask for much more from a show. So I'm really interested to hear what you thought of episode 2. Let me know in the comments below. If you're new, subscribe for more videos. We'll be back here next week doing more of these types of videos. Thanks again. See you next time.